So something that's been on my heart lately is meaningful motherhood. And when I got married, I knew that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, even though I had just finished my 4-year bachelor's degree, went to Ohio State for 3 years, finished up online at Liberty University, and was offered a job, with my, with the internship that I did while I was in college. But I couldn't explain to you why I wanted to be a mom. I just knew I wanted to be at home and I wanted to raise our kids. I think that was the biggest thing, was I didn't want to shuttle my kids off to be educated by somebody else. I wanted to be the ones to really pour into their hearts. Thankfully, as a new mom, I had plenty of resources made available to me. There were breastfeeding support groups, there were baby wearing groups, there were a couple local groups at my church where we could go to ladies' Bible study, and there was childcare. There was a mom's group, like mothers of preschoolers, moms, anybody? There was a group that I went to years ago where, again, there was time to talk to each other. There was time to glean from one another. And it was it so enriched my heart, because I honestly had no idea about motherhood. I was the first of my friends to have any babies. I didn't really have any cousins that were having babies yet, or any cousins that I was close to. My mom was working. I didn't really see her raise my brother. We're like 5 years apart, my brother and I, and it was just totally new to me. And but I got out and I met some other moms at other groups, and and then I started inviting people to my house, like, hey, let's hang out, let's do play dates. And it just really nourished my soul in a way that I can't imagine starting motherhood any other way. And so when COVID shut all these groups down, as much as I missed being at my groups, and that's not gonna work. As much as I missed being at all these different groups, I had friends, and I had a foundation of what to set my mind on and what things were important, and I didn't feel isolated. Plenty of friends to talk to, plenty of friends to hang out with, even though we didn't have like groups being hosted. So fast forward a couple of years, and I start seeing these moms on local Facebook groups, and they're saying, I'm so lonely, I feel so isolated, I want to meet other moms, can we hang out? Like just a random group post, and then people would respond. And I was like, I wonder if there's like the La Leche group anymore, and there wasn't. And then I was wondering about the baby wearing group, and it wasn't there anymore. Like things had started to open back up again, but those groups were not available anymore, because there's usually this natural progression of like, okay, you're a mom and you have someone else mentoring you, and then wow, you got so much out of it that now you want to mentor other moms, and they would take this training, they would read these books, whatever it was, to get certified, and then they would lead the La Leche League class, because you're only breastfeeding for a couple of years, a year, for me, a year or less at a time, but there was no natural progression of, hey, here are these moms that have been leading this group, but they didn't have the other moms to come up because they had taken a break for a year or whatever when the whole world shut down. So anyway, I started hosting play dates in my home, just to give women a place to learn how to be a mom, a place to learn how to connect with other moms, a place where they could come and they didn't have to worry about their kids running up and down the stairs. They could just sit and have a cup of coffee, or they could sit on the floor with their and just be there. You know, like, you can take your kids to a library, but inevitably mine always get into stuff. And I just wanted to facilitate community. I just wanted to facilitate women leaning on other people. And I think that's something that I really appreciated in my journey of motherhood. And I feel like because there's been this gap, now the moms that are, even though like groups have opened back up, now that there's moms that either had to try to raise their child, you know, in COVID, had their first babies in COVID, or they weren't even affected by COVID in the sense of like having children at that time, there's still this like huge push to get back to work. It's like, yeah, I'll be on maternity leave, but I'm coming back, you know? And it's like, no one ever sat down with them and like shared, how big of a change is this gonna be? This is not just a dog that you crate when you leave the house. This is not a dog that you kennel when you go on vacation. This is not just another responsibility added to your plate. Like, this is your whole life. Your body changes, your mind changes, your priorities change. Like, you need 3 to 6 months just to consider how you want to move forward. It's not just 3 months till you get back to work. It's like, have you actually been still with the Lord? Have you actually considered why you're even giving birth? And how you want to plan your life accordingly to that. So yeah, I guess I'm just here to encourage people. And I think moms give up too quickly sometimes because, wow, being a parent is hard. I might as well just go back to what's familiar. I'm going to go back to work, you know? Or, wow, I was the breadwinner, or we can't survive without 2 incomes, or whatever it is. And I just want to challenge all of that. Not that everyone has to be a full-time stay-at-home mom, but just to give people permission, the time and the space to have that transition. I don't think three months is enough. I mean, like, 3 months, you're just starting to maybe hopefully get some sleep. Your baby's probably not even sleeping the whole night, and you're trying to get back to work already, you know? So, yeah. If that's my contribution in life, is to help other people come into motherhood a little more gracefully, or to really embrace it for what it is, I would love to help and change some of those mindsets in our culture.